It's good. We're going.
I'll let you give me
The guided tour cost about $5 million.
yeah. I almost forgot it was a work session.
Yeah.
It will. I mean, go out of things.
Yeah, sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. I don't know the difference. Well, all we gotta do is put it on. That's fine. I probably not.
Then maybe there's.
Scout farm.
And they probably
Sometimes mine does, sometimes it don't. I don't know why. I do different.
I had a feeling somebody.
And need to show some projector.
Hey, everybody. I'll, call I'll call the meeting to order. And, I will ask, Councilman Henry to give the invocation.
Sure. Let's all pray. Dear Heavenly Father God, Lord, we thank you for this day and the very many blessings. Father, we're so thankful for the warmer weather we've had today. Father, we thank you for keeping us safe through the ice that we've had recently. Father, we thank you for all of our employees that work so hard to keep this town running. Father, we pray that you continue to keep them safe. And Lord, we know there's a lot of sick folks in our community. Father, we ask that you would bless them as only you can. Father, help us to have wisdom and knowledge tonight to make decisions about how the town should be running. Father, we pray that we would do those things in accordance with your will. Please forgive us when we sin, and it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And let's have
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And let's go.
Councilmember King Bagley. Here. Councilmember Eaton.
Here.
Councilmember Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Ingram.
Here.
Councilmember Mason.
Here.
And Mayor Cox.
Here. Okay, so this is a work session. There will be no votes tonight, but there will be discussion, and we have a pretty full agenda. We have a couple of guests at the top of the agenda. Denmark, a representative from Denmark Communications, I believe wants to discuss, well, we'll let him explain. Introduce yourself, come up to the podium and talk on the mic, if you will.
Well, first, hand you guys this, if that's okay. We're not prepared for it tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well, good evening, guys. My name is Logan Turkfield, and I am our sales and project analyst at Denmark Technologies. I first want to thank you guys for allowing me to be here to speak with you guys. We do appreciate the opportunity. I would like to start by saying, tonight is just an introduction about our department, myself, and Denmark Technologies. I think it's good to just put a face to the name, right, and mention all the services that we can help offer for municipal environment as yourself. So our IT department currently, we support more than 100 clients across the state of Alabama. Over the past 2 years, our internal IT department has grown from 5 employees to now 11 employees. We have grown internally from a capacity standpoint, but we have also grown and broadened our knowledge from a security standpoint as well, and the services that we can now provide for municipal buildings like yourself and the clients that we help manage. We do support a broad range of organizations, and those organizations do include municipal and public sector environments as yourself. And we have a strong and growing focus on security and compliance. Our goal from a managed service provider standpoint is not to just be a traditional managed service provider. What we want to be is we want to be your long-term technology partner. We want to be more proactive. That's what we want to focus on, and we want to help organizations avoid issues before they become disruptive from an operations standpoint. So after speaking with the town clerk and the treasurer, I know you guys are a smaller municipal environment, so from what I gather, your current provider, they only manage 7 computers from a day-to-day operations standpoint. And I would like to mention too that Denmark does, you guys may be familiar with us, we do have an existing relationship with the city of Rogersville. We help manage the camera system, and we did at one time have the phone system here as well at the town hall. Our office is only 3 minutes away from this building here, and that means that we're not just familiar, but we are very familiar with your environment currently, right? We're here in the local area, so we have a good understanding of the city of Rogersville. But we're local, so that means we're local and readily available to help assist with anything that comes up from a support standpoint. And because of that familiarity and proximity of our office, we understand that you guys have an expectation when it comes to being able to rely on technology to help service the public. We also know that in environments of your size, even a single small technical issue that one user may be facing, it could be affecting multiple people within the organization. And that affects your ability to effectively serve the public. So our approach from a managed service provider standpoint, we're gonna put an emphasis on stability and predictability. We're gonna help prevent issues when possible, and we're gonna respond as quickly as we can when issues do arise. So our role that we have, what we don't want to do is we don't want to overcomplicate technology. But what we do want to do is we want to provide a consistent and dependable baseline of support so that all of your systems are functioning as expected and anticipated. We're also going to work to close security gaps that you guys may have or that we find if we were your managed service provider. We're going to help reduce the downtime, and we're going to ensure that your systems are responsibly and consistently maintained. At the same time, not overcomplicating technology, we're going to try to prioritize the things that are currently in place. So if we come in, right, and we see that a system or a service is functioning well, we're not going to try to replace that because that would mean it would be unnecessary. It would make it complicated. And so I say that to say, for example, I know that you guys use Google as an email platform. There's no reason to change from that. Our goal from a managed service provider standpoint is to make sure that it's being supported correctly and it's secure. Not just secured in the environment, but outside the environment as well. We also know that support is right-sized for any environment and any organization. So our solution, what we want to do is we want to be able to tailor it to the size of your environment. That depends on the available budget and the operational goals and the needs of the city of Rogersville. So our baseline managed IT model, our support, we've come up with a managed IT model, we call that MSP. So rather than assembling multiple different pieces of IT services, our MSP One package, it starts with a consistent foundation that will help cover essential operational needs, and it will help cover the essential security needs as well. So what that package includes, it does include a secure remote support tool that helps resolve issues. So that will help eliminate us from having to come on site, right? You guys can call us, we can do our work from the office. It also comes with endpoint protection, which includes a localized antivirus. And if you guys have email support or email licensing needs, that stuff is available to you as well. And these are probably services that you're all already familiar with because you get that through your existing managed service provider. We do have additional layers of security and management tools that can be added over time, but our baseline package ensures that your core protection and processes are always in place. Our MSP One package, it is very structured, but at the same time it is very flexible, and it's intentionally flexible. We want to be able to prioritize the things that should be in place, the things that are in place first, and then over time we want to be able to help phase stuff in with additional improvements. That depends on budget, that depends on time, and that depends on your needs. And this will help you guys to maintain control over both the budget and the complexity of IT services. Being a managed service provider, what we also deem necessary is to be able to have quarterly reviews with you guys. That's no additional cost to you guys. So that is 4 meetings a year between us and you. What that's going to do is it's going to allow us to review your organization and environment at a deeper level. That's going to break it down from an operational and security standpoint. We will do that assessment. And it will give us the opportunity to discuss any trends or risks that we see associated with your environment. And then that gives you the chance to talk with us about areas of improvement that we could work on, or areas that we see we could work on for you, for your organization. Sometimes during those reviews and assessments, there may be, the recommendation is to take an action. Take an action to help improve your overall stability, functionality. There may be other times where the right answer is everything is working well, and there may be no changes that we need to make at that time. Having those conversations and discussions will allow us to keep our relationship proactive, it allows us to be transparent with each other, and it helps us align with your needs. In addition to who we have on staff from a day-to-day standpoint, we also have a dedicated 24/7 monitoring team. This will allow for any potential issues or security events. They will be identified in real time if something were to happen, and that reduces the risk of us finding out later. A lot of security incidences that happen, they don't happen during normal business hours. As your managed service provider, it is our goal to ensure that you're covered from a full day-to-day protection standpoint, which is why we have that dedicated monitoring team. That's all that I have. I know that was pretty quick. I wanted to keep it brief. I know you guys have got a lot to review, but as I said, or if I didn't mention it, I just wanted to do an introduction. But I would like to kind of take this moment to see if you guys are interested and maybe have a secondary conversation that will allow us to review your services now. Any areas of improvement that you guys want to see on from a managed service provider, if you're looking in a different direction. And then it just gives us the opportunity to go over your goals, if you have any goals. And reviewing your overall infrastructure within the organization. So that's all. Again, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take this under advisement and study it, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you all.
Okay, now we have a representative from the Axios Group. You would introduce yourself.
Yes, sir.
We'll turn it over to you.
Sir. Nice to meet y'all. Appreciate y'all giving us a few minutes to kind of introduce ourselves to y'all. My name is Tanner Rose. Tanner like full house, Rose like the flower. What we do at Axios Group, we are a full service brokerage as far as benefits go. I know talking with Ms. Jeffries, local government, this year major medical, kind of hard to really do anything in that space. We do have a 401k securities team. If you do want to look at retirement, I believe you said y'all were on RSA. This one? Okay. So really, this is more just like a voluntary benefit, so your life, your cancer, disability, things of that nature. I do have a generic shelf proposal. We did send out a generic bid to all of our carriers. Chubb kind of won that. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with Chubb. Anybody familiar with Chubb? They're the largest insurer in the world. So they went out. Of course, we can do something much more custom. That just requires kind of getting a census and prior carrier bills. So the rates aren't exactly set in stone. We can do everything, like I said, from just administering, auditing, and kind of keep everything in compliance from that standpoint to kind of take some load off of a lot of our cities. That's primarily what I do, is anything public sector, counties, cities, boards of education, things like that. We can really be as hands-on or as hands-off as y'all would like. We like to do everything as a partnership, especially when we're dealing with our cities. We don't want it to be any kind of confusing. I know a lot of the cities I've gone to, employees end up going to the city clerk, or if they're large enough, the HR department, and that is a nightmare scenario for all parties involved. So that's where we come in. I'm located in Hoover. I have 4 brokers up here in the Huntsville kind of metro area. Then we're all the way to Missouri, Indiana. We're all over the southeast, really. We have a full service back office staff as well, so anything billing wise or administrative that Ms. Kelly or whoever would need that, we can do it. Any questions in particular about that? I can send our proposal, generic proposal at first. Like I said, if y'all want to look it over, obviously you said no votes tonight, it's a working council. We can kind of go from there. You know, if it's something you're like, we like it, we can get a little bit more custom with it, or if we're happy with kind of where it's at, we can leave it there too. Instead.
Yeah, you can, would you email that to Mrs. Jeffries? And
Yes, I will.
we can get you that email address.
Yes, sir. I believe I have it. Give it to me. Yes, so we should be good there. All right. Anybody have any other questions?
All right, thank you.
Y'all have a blessed night. Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is town shirts. I believe there are some samples, different styles and different colors. And I think we need to settle on a style and color, and then we can choose our individual sizes. Again, this will be like at municipal conferences, League of Municipality events, would be, the thinking being, it would be nice to have something representing the town, that we could all wear.
The convention always has a shirt.
Okay,
So,
but we need to settle on one color and one style, is that correct? And of course, our individual sizes. I kind of like maroon, although I don't think you can go wrong with maroon. There's a gray, charcoal gray, and a black, it gets like.
I mean, we can do any color, these were just,
That's right, yeah, these are,
more if you look at the front page, it tells you the prices. But I just need to know what shirts y'all like and the colors and then sizes.
can't vote on it tonight, right?
no. We gotta decide between long sleeve and short sleeve,
You get one of each.
or one of each.
I think we should give it short and long.
Yeah.
Just like the seasons.
I agree.
So we'll bring that back next meeting.
Yeah, so what I had assumed, if I could go ahead and
Get
get
the color.
the color and the sizes, then I can get us a quote on those sizes and colors.
That's good.
What do y'all like the best, maroon, black, or gray? I say maroon, but you like black.
I like black.
Stephen, what do you like?
Insert joke here. Maroon is fine.
Maroon, he says maroon. Do we need to settle on a style, or you just mostly need sizes?
Well, different styles are different prices.
Right.
I thought a polo was a polo.
Now,
Clearly not.
yep,
This is very good.
Well, they got maroon,
silk touch polo long sleeve maroon.
So the Port Authority,
Yes.
okay.
That's what it's called. Yes,
Good shirt.
and so we'll get you our individual size. Right now?
No, not in public. No. I don't
We
think
can
so.
reach out, we can reach out to you with our individual.
You can text me individually, text me your size if you want to do
Something
that.
like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't put my size out there.
Okay,
It's a -1, we know what it is.
okay, we discussed the pickleball courts from time to time, and I've been asked by members of the public about the status of the pickleball court. Kelly and I and Elizabeth were talking earlier about the budget vis-a-vis pickleball courts. And I may need Mrs. Jeffries to help me explain this a little bit, but we saw that in the current fiscal year budget, there was money presumably earmarked toward completing the pickleball courts. But then a question arose that money was actually spent in the last fiscal year, am I correct?
Some of it,
Some of it.
Yes.
yes.
So I guess we need to decide, are we all gonna reallocate? And I think maybe there had been a decision in the previous council term to put a hold on all further pickleball court spending until further notice.
Yes.
So now, I guess, we need to decide whether we're going to reallocate that money, hold off even further, wait until more money's coming in later in the year. I think there needs to be, yet to be completed is fencing, light poles, and surfacing, and some work around the court itself, maybe some dirt work.
Have we been billed for the original work up there?
Some of it,
We have,
some of it. This,
the paving, no,
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 we have not been involved in it. The pad, the sidewalk, the culvert, and the piping for the lots, and the lot poles have been, we have the lot poles, right?
yeah, we got the,
We got the lot poles.
Yeah.
but we hadn't been billed for the paving or nothing.
My thought is, if we do anything next, we need to go ahead and get it paved, because they can play in the dark and they can play without a fence.
Well, I believe during the previous council term, before my time, what's been done was done in stages, correct?
That's right.
That's what he alluded to. Why don't we
Yeah.
consider taking it a stage at a time, starting with, what did you say, paving?
Paving, because they can see,
And you're right, they can play without a fence.
Right.
play during the day.
We gonna have to have a seal and strike,
That's right.
Right. But
and it's a contractor was dealing with on that before the election, but he hadn't seen anything in what it would cost.
So that would be a first step, getting in touch with that person and see.
Yeah, they're not through, they're gonna cut the edges now, they gotta lay it out. And then we need to get it sealed and strike,
And they could at least start playing,
yeah.
you know?
they better be
We
good.
just have to see the example,
Maybe
I don't know what the paving job is gonna come in, cost.
They've already done the paving work and haven't billed for it.
Yeah, and all that, excavating it is and gravel, we hadn't got a bill from, I don't know.
Well, between now and next week, I'm gonna reach out and ask them to send that bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then to find out how much it would cost to do at least enough work to make it a playable playing surface.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I will report back to you all next
I
Monday.
think that's gotta be done first.
Okay. The tax holiday resolution, that's something that Rogersville has done as long as I can remember. Municipalities do not have to participate, but it sounds like a good thing to me. It just has to be approved in the form of a resolution. This can be considered a first reading, and we would actually, even though this is a work session, it's still considered a first reading. We can vote on it next week.
Yes,
Yeah.
So this, and 2 pages of information, I guess, is the resolution itself, and lets you know more about the tax holidays. Okay. Dumpster cleanup day,
You gonna read it?
you want me to read?
That'll be your
That's This is a resolution providing for the town of Rogersville's annual participation in the back-to-school sales tax holidays authorized by 4023-210 through 4023-213 in the Code of Alabama of 1975. Okay, whereas the Code of Alabama and Act number 2017-120 provides for a sales tax holiday for the exemption of state sales tax and use tax for certain non-commercial purchases related to school clothing and supplies. And whereas the Code of Alabama authorizes the county commission to provide for an exemption of county sales and use taxes for purchases of certain items covered during the same time period in which the state sales tax and use tax exemption is in place, provided a resolution to that effect is adopted at least 30 days prior to the sales tax holiday. And whereas the Rogersville Town Council has affirmatively voted to grant the exemption of county sales and use taxes on purchases covered in the Alabama Code during the third full weekend of July, beginning at 12:01 a.m. on Friday, July 17, 2026, and ending at midnight on Sunday, July 19, 2026. Whereas the Code of Alabama requires that the county commission notify the Alabama Department of Revenue of any new local tax or amendment to an existing local tax levy at least 30 days prior to the effective date of the change. And whereas the exemption of certain county sales and use taxes for the time period herein adopted by the county commission is an amendment to the county sales and use tax levy warranting notice to the Alabama Department of Revenue as provided in the Code of Alabama, wherefore be it resolved by the Rogersville Town Council that it does hereby provide for an exemption of the county sales and use tax on purchases of items covered by certain sections of the Alabama Code beginning at 12:01 a.m. on Friday, July 16, 2026, and ending at 12 midnight on Sunday, July 19, 2026, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be spread upon the minutes of the January 12th meeting of the Rogersville Town Council, only to correct that date, and be immediately forwarded to the Alabama Department of Revenue in compliance with the Code of Alabama 1975, Section 1151-210, subsection E, and adopted and approved. And we'll correct that date and vote on it next. Okay, that's the first reading. Thank you. Good job. Yeah, thank you. Okay. I have one. Next is the dumpster for cleanup day. I think this is something that's done once. In the past, it maybe has been done twice a year, but I think the main thing is to decide when and where, and the dumpster will be, in fact, how many dumpsters to order. I think in recent years, the dumpsters were set up in the municipal parking lot behind the north side, behind the businesses on the north side of Lee Street. In years past, it was done at Rogersville Recreation Park. That wasn't an ideal place, I don't think. But it's not exactly an ideal place in the municipal parking lot either. The only other suggestion I had in the past, before my time here in office, was the Rogersville Industrial Park. There's a spec building that sits empty with a big parking lot. We'd have to contact CEDA, Shoals Economic Development Authority, because they own it, but I would think maybe they would be amenable. It's kind of out of the way, not in the middle of town, but it's roomier and would not interfere with park activities or public parking.
So my only concern about that is dumping stuff that isn't allowed in the middle of the night, and there's no way for us to guard it.
Well, that happens. It's easier to keep an eye on in the middle of town, but
I mean, I know, wasn't that kind of the reasoning, Eddie, when we had it at the park, because we could close that gate up there? Was that the
Well,
reason?
it's been out here the past.
Right, but I mean, when it was held at the park,
Yeah.
the gate was the reason.
It is
Keep
easier to
some
keep an eye
crazy
on,
out.
but, I mean, I'm not opposed to that idea either. What do you think, Eddie, as far as industrial park? Do you have any pros or cons?
I mean, if they were amenable to it.
Yeah, that's fine with me. The reason behind Lee Street here be a problem now is since we have the new Lee Street Cafe, it really interfere with parking.
I think we do need to look at an alternative source for that, because that's really a valid point.
Well, I'll call the Shoals Economic Development Authority and see what they think about the idea.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
And I'll report, and something else I'll report back next week. How many, if they ask how many dumpsters do you have in mind, what do
We
you think?
usually keep
We had
four and two.
four metal, and, I mean, 2 metal and 4 regular, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
And that was still.
that's to
for-
start with.
That's to start with,
Yeah.
yeah. They switched those out last year, how many times? Do you remember?
We swapped out the regular dumpsters twice, and, we brought in one extra metal dumpster.
Pretty good bit.
Well, it takes more since we're going to one time a year.
Yeah.
That's what created it.
Well, it is roomy up there, and there's the empty spec building that has no traffic.
I think that's a good
Yeah.
idea. Something different is a good
Yeah.
idea.
I'll reach out and see what they say.
Go around.
If they say it's a fantastic idea, I'll let you know, or if they say no way, I'll let you know.
While you got them, ask if it would be okay if we entertain twice a year.
Well, and if we're,
Yeah.
I'll tell them we've done it once a year in the past, but if we make a move twice a year, would you still be okay with it? Okay, yeah, I'll answer.
So I guess one of the concerns, there's no concrete, right? I mean, no asphalt. Where you're talking about, or is it?
I think so.
It is.
It is asphalt.
It is.
Then we shouldn't have a problem. Nails and stuff like
I
that.
believe they paid it when they built the spec building.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what day?
Yeah, but we
You
need,
know what I mean, wherever you
Oh,
say.
do I want to at least give a month, if not an exact date? I think in the past it was,
Reserve the dumpster, so I mean,
that was sometime in March.
We did it, yeah, March.
In March or April.
Last year was,
last year was April, I think.
Do you want to be warm or cold, Eddie?
Kenny's the one.
I picked March the 27th weekend.
Okay.
Okay.
That works.
I don't see why not. Okay. All right, the employee handbook, this is something, hopefully by next week, we'll have some revisions signed off on by our attorney. If he's not quite ready, we'll just have to take it up at the meeting after that. But I believe this is something that maybe we got into a little bit, or we needed clarification with Councilman Jones. And I think we have some new info about what you're about to ask about, but I'll go ahead and defer to you.
Good. Pages.
Page 12,
Yeah.
and then I think it's like 3 pages.
Talk about, section 8. The mayor may grant administrative leave with pay when in his opinion, local emergencies or disasters arrive that would constitute a hazard to the employee's safety or health. There was an addendum put in, and it leaves of absence, and it's called inclement weather policy. As a town employee serve the public good, all employees are required to use their best efforts to come to work every day, including days of inclement weather. Only if the town officials have publicly announced the closing of town hall or an employee's excuse from work without pay. If an employee is unable to make it to work when town hall is open, the employee will be charged a day of annual leave if they choose to be paid for such day. Nothing in this Article 5, Section 13 is designed to eliminate the mayor's authority to grant administrative leave under Article 5, Section 8 that I just read during such circumstances. But what we had come up in this last go around was we had inclement weather. We closed on Monday, and then we checked with the chief, the mayor, and the street department, and we called everybody in. We discussed possibly going along with schools. If we had of, we wouldn't have been here Tuesday. So,
Or I have to have Wednesday.
or half day Wednesday, that's true,
By the way,
So-
I just want to jump in, the part
without pay.
I don't know if you were aware of this, but Ms. Jeffries did some research, and that's really a typo.
Right, it
It
is a
should be
typo.
with pay.
And this was written when we had Miss Lisa Hobatter here, and she was traveling from Sheffield. It's nothing derogatory about Lisa at all. But what we was trying to do was give her an avenue because she was driving so far. This is supposed to read with pay, okay? So, do we want to leave this in, or do we want to let you, the chief, and the supervisor of the street department determine if it's safe to come into work?
And if town hall is open, but someone feels they can't get out, then they would have to take a leave. or-
An annual leave day. So this, we're right back to kind of where we started from. Is, you know, I don't want us, if we go along with the school, we see what happened. We would have been shut down for 2 days.
I think it worked out, I think we need to go with just how you explained it, because with pay, and if someone feels they cannot get out because of their particular situation, then they would just have to use leave.
Sounds good.
It worked out good last week.
Yeah.
Most of the problems were in Waterloo.
Yeah.
When we did open back up, it was on the advice of the EMA director, Brad Holmes, and the police chief, and, yeah, I talked with Eddie and some of those guys, so.
So Kelly, if you would, mark through without pay and mark with pay and get that part to Jim. Thank you. All right,
Thank you. That cleared up a lot.
that cleared up a lot.
Okay. I think we have a price on a generator.
Yeah,
I've
that's-
seen a sneak peek of the price, and I don't really think there's probably anything to discuss. Is it
I
in here?
don't think there's anything to discuss.
You want me to?
I did not make copies.
It far exceeds what our previous price was.
The bid was $129,110 for a generator for town hall.
Is this in our folder?
No, Mrs. Jeffries didn't even make a copy of it, but here it is. If you want.
What, how big is that
It was in a manila envelope, so I'll let
I
you.
didn't see that. Didn't seem to be,
It's a long good one.
That ain't even a Generac. I don't know what a Generac would cost, but you know. That's a far cry from what did we have allocated?
I'm supposed to get another bid from this, so,
Who's putting that for?
Big River.
She's pointing out there's a lot of extras in there, like a concrete base.
Yeah, that's
or-
what I'm saying, it's more to that, not just the generator.
Oh, yeah, this is not just buying a generator, this is
Yeah.
actual hooking it up, making it,
They provide the first 693 gallons of diesel.
yeah,
First startup, right.
Anyway, I think probably this can just be tabled.
I think so. George, I've got Williams supposed to come Thursday. Or
We
Wednesday.
didn't do it, that's the last one we got, dealt with Jerry Fay.
Right. But I've got them coming for the lights too, so we'll see. But, yeah, I don't think we can go this route.
Okay, so this will just be tabled.
It-
Table for now is redundant, it's tabled.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is I went to the NACOG board meeting about a week ago, and one of the grant writers at NACOG pointed out to me that the previous council had requested a grant from the Rebuild Alabama Fund, and I believe it was granted. And the deadline for the next round of Rebuild Alabama grant funding is the end of this month. And this is too many pages to make copies of every page, but I have last year's successful grant application. It included pictures of streets that needed work. And there are two amounts you can go for. One amount does not require matching funds. You can go for a higher amount that would require some matching funds. I don't know what the previous council did. I don't know if it was with matching funds or was without matching funds. But that would be something that would need to be decided. Do we want to put forth some matching funds or just ask for a straight up grant? And Mrs. Jeffries may know, do you know the amounts?
I've got that on print off.
Oh, okay, it's printed out.
Yeah, I did print that off.
Oh, okay, right.
We need to do it straight up, Mayor.
The 10 million is with no local match.
Right.
Just straight up grant. Given our situation, other discussions we had, I agree with them. So, I don't know if we have to vote on this next week. If we do, we can vote, but if we don't, I'll just get with the grant writer and say, he just wants me to give him the word, do we want to rebuild
Yes.
Alabama money this year if we can get it, and I will contact him and say yes.
The deadline's coming up too.
It's coming up, yeah, he wants to, yes, I told him he will hear back from us before then, and he'll take from there, so. Okay,
I don't think we have to vote on this, because it's not, we're not spending money,
I don't think so.
so I think
Yeah,
you just.
so I don't think we have to vote on
Yeah,
it.
that's what I was wondering, this is pressing.
No matching funds, so I'll just let him know, yes, we want to apply.
Yeah, okay.
And they'll handle the rest, and I'll work with, Eddie and his guys, maybe take some pictures of some streets that need some work, and include that in the grant. Okay, the next, topic on the agenda is the senior center rental agreement. Maybe a couple of weeks ago, Don had, mentioned that there was a group that rented the senior center and left it, not in disarray, but left it pretty messy, I think, and, I think it had been mentioned here in the office at Town Hall, maybe there could be a deposit that could be either forfeited or charged if a group left a mess at the senior center that had to be cleaned up. Mrs. Jeffries can elaborate on this if need be, but I think their thinking in the office is maybe making a $50 cleaning fee. If they pay for the rental in cash, they could leave a $50 refundable deposit that will be returned. Or if they leave their credit, pay for it with a credit or debit card, then if that $50 needs to be charged, it could be charged to their card after that, so.
We used to have a deposit, so we used to pay, or it used to be 150, what 50 of it was a deposit. And after you rented it, you got your $50 back, which involved a lot of checks being cut and getting the correct address, people not coming and picking them back up. In 6 months, where's their deposit, et cetera. So we did away with the deposit fee.
So now they know up front, if they pay with the card, they know that they'll be charged $50 if need be. Or if they pay in cash, they can leave $50.
Is that enough? That's what I was gonna say. I would 1,000% leave a mess for $50.
That's absolutely.
1,000%.
Yeah,
I mean, I agree with
I
that.
mean, $50 or 2 hours cleaning, no.
I think that was just thinking in the office, $50, but I'm not opposed to making it $75 or.
Whatever y'all.
Yeah, that's
Make it,
this is,
it's
that's what I'm
got,
saying, this
it's
is
got, you know what I mean? And they can get it back, or whatever, you know.
we're down here thinking the $50 cleaning is way low, but also the rental charge for the use of the facilities is low.
You gotta take utilities. in there,
Especially after
everything.
she's cleaned it up and painted it all, and
That's right, and then you
got it really spruced up.
and they always mess with the thermostat, no matter what, you write down in writing, so,
We don't have a lockbox on that. Maybe we should have a lockbox.
There's not one.
that,
Is it a programmable thermostat? Eddie, do you know?
No,
No, they're not.
it's not.
Well, it definitely needs to be, that would save us a fortune.
I do too.
Which all this other stuff's already been, I mean, the only neat part on here is the
Okay.
deposit.
Yeah.
Everything else is how, was the original agreement we've always had.
Well, they gonna get it back here, we'll have to clean it up. I'll get $100.
That's what I say. I say make the deposit.
And it's already written in the nonprofit, like school groups, nonprofit groups
Yes.
don't have to pay a fee.
right, but as far as the cleaning fee, I'd say $100, and then for the rental fee, I'd say make it $150.
150 on the rental fee.
That's gotta at least cover some utilities and everything else too. So, yeah.
So 150, up the rental fee from 100 to 150, and make the cleaning fee, if needed, $100.
Right.
Yeah.
Is this something that will have to be voted on, or we can just make an administrative change?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's fine, from my perspective, but
I'm good with
150, 100.
it. Good.
Okay, and then there's been discussion about the outside cover. I think Councilwoman King Bailey probably has some thoughts on this, and I was up there on an unrelated errand earlier and had discussed this with the director, Don, but Councilwoman, do you have anything?
Yeah, we discussed, this ain't got brought once before about a cover that we need to be put, it's on the side of the building. You know, when the nightfall, guy drive up with the bus, we need like a cover, cause he get rained on and the meals get messed up, so he needs a cover. So Mr. Lester came up there and did the measurements and all that stuff, and he gave us an estimate for $1,300 with all his labor and all the things that he needed to, get that done. And I think you're gonna get another estimate too as well.
I'll be honest, I knew that we'd discussed this for several times, I'm sorry, but I actually forgot that there'd been an estimate before us, but yeah, I mean, Alabama awnings can also give a free estimate, so if we wanted more than one estimate.
I think we need to get another one,
Okay.
so we can have at least.
And that,
Well, yeah, I know, he's just doing it because he plus giving us a military discount on that too as well.
I don't think you want anything from Alabama, it's cheaper.
cheaper.
Yeah.
But
Well, I know,
we can get them if you want to.
anyway, you're pretty confident, well, we'll see,
It never hurts.
it won't hurt, but I will be ready
That
to
sounds
move
hurt.
forward on that. I know Don is eager. However, we do need to have a discussion about the budget, I think, and make sure.
Well, me and Kelly already discussed the budget on that, so you want to kind of elaborate on that, Kelly, about the, senior citizen? But I did call Mr. Holden, of course, they don't give any funding for anything for like remodeling, maintenance or anything, so that's pretty much out. But me and Kelly did go down the budget for the senior citizen, and the only thing we see is the contract labor, $500 here,
So
so.
have our budget out here.
You could take some of it from capital outlays,
Where do you see that?
Well, they ordered, that's,
7131.
they used that, most of that. They ordered some furniture and stuff.
I think she ordered some furniture that came out of Central Outlet.
Elizabeth got a PO the other day, or some POs in there, and we're just trying to figure out where she's taking money from, which budget line item it is from.
We ordered furniture?
I don't remember that.
Don's at the senior center.
For the senior citizen.
How much was it?
Elizabeth has POs, I'm not 100% sure, I know she said she had to get in touch with Dawn to see where that was coming from.
If she's ordered furniture without council approval,
I think she ordered, I remember a discussion about this, and I believe the way she put it was, she had the money for it, and she ordered it. You all remember that discussion? But I think that discussion happened after the fact.
okay. So you think she's already used the majority of the capital outlays?
I think we need to talk to Dawn.
Dawn.
Will we,
So Dawn needs to come to the council.
That's what I was gonna say, probably a good idea.
Yeah, so
Okay.
one-on-one.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right, anything else about that? All right, the maintenance department, status of street department trucks. Councilwoman, was this your item? I think probably we just want to know if trucks are still out of service.
That's a 80.
Eddie, what is the status of your, there were a couple of trucks that were out of service.
Sonny, you owner operator,
I was like, Eddie, you supposed to be telling me about that.
I think we were just wanting an update on the status of the trucks that have been out of service.
Yeah, so first, our 2021 3500 is, has been looked at by one potential buyer, and there's a local farmer that's coming to look at it, hopefully one day this week, but it's ready to be listed. The 2012 Dodge Ram, what we call our spare truck, that had to be taken to the shop. The problem with it is the fuel pump and the fuel pump connector has to be replaced, and that will cost $610 to get that truck back going. The 2011 Ram that got carried to the shop, they called me and asked permission to go ahead and change the oil in it so they could drive it and check it because it had no oil. And I haven't heard back from them what they, you know, if they've been able to diagnose any other problems yet. And that's all the updates I have on those 3 trucks.
Okay. So we'll need to approve that.
We need a surplus.
But yeah, we'll need to vote to surplus your truck.
Yes.
Okay.
So that can be, and then,
Was there not a whole lot on that truck or anything?
So who, the
It's
driver?
lit up like a Christmas tree.
Okay, I got you. I was gonna say, they're usually pretty sensitive on low oil.
Yeah. But he doesn't know now, he told me that he didn't know that that was the problem. The truck.
Yeah,
He
oh,
just-
yeah.
He just wanted to make sure before he drove it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the one we replaced the engine in now.
yes,
No,
right.
how does it get to no oil?
How many miles did it have on it? It wasn't Jackson, was it Jackson?
I believe
So
so.
it should have
What was it last year?
it should have what, 50,000, 100,000? Has it got a warranty on it?
Should have.
Yeah, that
but I
should.
don't know that that warranty covers
Yeah.
your fault. You know, I don't know, and I'm not a mechanic. All I know is they said they wanted to be able to make sure the oil level was right before they drove it to check it out. That's all I got on that. But the other one will need your vote to put in the fuel pump.
$610.
$610.
That's from 2012.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the tank.
And then vote to surplus.
Yes, and so surplus to 3,500
Okay.
diesel truck.
I've got another question I've just got to ask. Is it a requirement for everyone that is allowed to drive a truck to check the oil?
Yeah, everybody's responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of their own vehicle.
I've always had a good mind.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you drive your own personal vehicle, don't you check the oil
Oh,
and
yeah.
transmission and all that stuff? I mean,
Yeah.
Anything else about the trucks? Anybody?
I'm scared to ask.
Okay, and portable storage container, what's this about?
Okay, street department has approached me about, the metal buildings that are out at the, actually in the outfield of the big baseball field behind the water tanks. They'd like to utilize that storage area, cause they need more storage. So I've got 3 options. I went and looked at some portable buildings that we could put down and give one to softball and one to baseball. And those are around $4,800 a piece. Or we can purchase one that is a enclosed shed, 20 by 20, for the street department. And that's roughly $7,800.
Where was that one coming from?
A place up here in Athens. Can't think of the name of it.
Me neither, I know.
Rocket
City.
I think you said that, yeah.
Yeah.
The Rocket City.
Yeah.
Rocket City.
Rocket City, yeah. Okay. And the third option is to take the building that we purchased for the farmer's market and move it wherever he needs it, and authorizing them to go purchase 10 and put a door on it, and I don't know what that cost would be. But I would hate to do that, and then we have farmer's market again. So,
Where is that structure right now? It's still there?
Still right there?
yeah,
There had been a discussion about that being moved and whether, can that even be disassembled and moved, or is it just one big?
Oh, yeah.
well,
It
yeah,
does still have to be disassembled to be moved.
yeah.
You mean y'all can't get a corner? We can move it.
Can y'all,
We have good.
can y'all move that, or
About that side.
We have good.
can your guys move, disassemble and move it, or do we have to get somebody?
So,
Well, let's, before we jump and say
Well,
that was the option we're gonna use,
Right.
do we wanna leave that building for the farmer's market?
Well, that's right. There had been talk about, I think you all had wanted it moved, maybe to
Yeah, we
another
could-
location anyway.
I had mentioned moving it to one of the shops, you know,
Okay.
before, but, you know, we never did decide either way what we were
But
gonna
that's
do.
thought as well, if we do bring back the farmer's market, it probably needs to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
George had a pretty good idea.
Yeah, let's, we have all these activities downtown, all these food trucks, let's have an area for the food trucks to sit up.
Have a
Put some
place there.
tables under it.
So I was gonna say, put some tables under it, there's really not, when there are food trucks, there's not a place to eat.
We could get another enclosure for them. I mean, I agree they need.
If we pay to have it taken down, that's, we could put the money to a new one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
yeah.
I agree. So if we buy the two portable buildings, that's gonna come out around $9,600, and that's delivered, set up. The other one, like I said, is $7,800, does not have a concrete floor. It will be sitting on gravel.
Just have a point of clarification, is baseball, youth baseball, youth softball, they're wanting to use? the-
Youth baseball and youth softball currently are using the 10 or the buildings that Eddie's wanting to take over.
Currently, okay.
So, which actually belongs to the town to begin with.
Yeah.
So, to do that, to get their equipment out, proposing to buy 2 of these portable buildings so that they can store all their equipment in. And then, or purchase the 1 building. So, think about it, and we'll talk about it.
What kind of building you want, Danny?
So, the reason I mentioned getting those that are already up there by the water tanks back is so we could leave the mowers that we use at the park, the big walk behind blower, everything that we use at the park, leave it there for easy access to the walking trail, instead of having to bring it from the other shop around, which is kind of busting at the seams already. Plus, I mean, we got some other stuff, some implements that we could need to put under shelter somewhere. Those, the metal building, the big one on the end that we currently use has all our Christmas decorations in it. Those smaller ones that the youth programs use, we can move our Christmas to those and use the bigger one to put our stuff in, mowers and such.
Right. Has that one still got an ice machine in it?
It doesn't.
Okay.
No, but that's another thing, both the storage building that we use for our Christmas storage, it's got a lot of electrical hookups in there, as well as the wood building out there between that and the practice field that has the 100, the 200 amp services in there. That's where the big blower and stuff is stored. We really need to empty those spaces. It's an electrical hazard anyway. So the big stuff that we have for Christmas that's in that building, really we need somewhere else for it to be anyway, to get it off of that panel wall at least 3 feet. So my thinking was if we could take our buildings back, I could just move that stuff to those buildings and use what I could in the, in that small building. If we got another standalone building, we would just have to discuss really where we wanted to put it. Would you say it was 20 by 20?
20 by 20 with a roll-up door and a standard access door.
Just figure out where you guys
Yeah.
If,
would want
if
it.
we bought 2 buildings Where would we put them up there,
That's
then?
what
Well, what we discussed was probably put one where for the baseball team, put it close to the, batting cage. And then for softball, we could actually put it up there beside the, just right off the asphalt. So that softball can have access to that.
Kind of close to the T-ball field.
Right, close to the T-ball field
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So those were the two areas we talked about that would make more sense.
But if we bought Eddie one, we would turn them back over to that mini storage.
We let them stay in the mini storage buildings, and then we just buy 81. And then we'd have to figure out where we put it.
We can put it down there close to the other building, wouldn't we?
Well,
But that,
we could, but part of my thinking was just logistically speaking.
Right.
To have
Just
everything
get
that we at the park.
is getting everything that he uses
I can
that
see
far up there,
Yeah,
so.
but,
Stupid question, why isn't it in that building down here?
which,
Like, is it at the, is it the one in the gravel parking lot, it's at that building?
the maintenance building,
Yeah. Like, is the stuff you're needing at that maintenance building or this maintenance building?
part of it, it just depends on what we're doing. Some of it's at the cemetery because
It's used there more?
Yeah,
Okay.
so. But what he's trying to do is get them equipment that he's using in a more logistic location, so they don't.
So there's some things we have, there's some things we have at that shop and under that, carport at the back that's only used in the park, but we have to, if we're not using that, we're gonna move it out of the way to get stuff that we need, you know, in general. So I was just thinking we could lighten the load by putting just what we use inside that park up there at the park. And we need to clean out, you know, around those electrical panels. So I was two birds, one stone kind of thing. And I wasn't, when I asked Danny about it, I wasn't sure that they were still using those buildings. You know, they're locked, but I didn't know
Right.
how much stuff was actually in there because the people that first started that's long gone from the years now, so I wasn't sure if they were still being utilized.
Yeah, but irregardless, Eddie's got to get that material and equipment out of that electric, right?
Yeah.
Because we had the same thing happening years ago down at the concession stand in that equipment room. Everybody was storing everything in there, up to and including the 5-gallon gas full of gas. So,
We can put this on the agenda and
Okay.
decide which direction.
So which would you prefer if we had to pick?
Honestly, probably the two separate buildings would be more, eye pleasing.
yeah, let me back up. The two buildings that we're talking about getting are actually 10 by 20. So they could be there for a while. It's big enough to get them so that they could put the, you know, they all use these new pitching mounds. So they have to get the pitching mounds in storage. And those are about 10 feet long.
Yeah.
So, it'll allow them to get all their equipment in, plus they got a little 3-wheeler they use to drag the fields and stuff, so that gives them enough room to store things. And $4,800 each, and that's delivered and set up.
Where would we take the money,
This place over there.
Danny?
No,
Where would we take
where's
the
the
money
money
from
Oh,
to pay for them?
I've got 2 places. Of course, it fall up under capital outlays under Eddie's street department, of course. And then the other one is we had, let's see. 7520, we could take one. And under, capital outlays on recreation, we could take the other part of it and leave some money there in capital outlays. But we could split it between recreation and street departments, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And,
Do you have something you'd rather that money go to as opposed to a check, so you could have room?
So
Okay, my next question.
I don't have it in front of me, I don't remember what was on the capital outlay, you said the street department. I think I've got, excavator attachments and stuff on there. That's just something I could look at between now and next meeting. We'll talk about it.
all right, if you would, just write this down. The capital outlay, 7131 for street department. And then, maintenance, 7520, and also 7131.
And that would take care of two,
Yes,
10 by 20.
in betweens. Yes. Yeah, it'd be $9,600. And then I'll check to see if we can use a military discount.
Okay.
That's on the week.
We will put that on the agenda for the next meeting.
All right.
Thanks. Okay, zoning and code enforcement, this is another resolution that would be considered the first reading. I suppose it would be helpful for me to read this, but I'm not gonna read the description of the parcel plan. It's very technical, so I'll skip over that, but I will read the resolution, other than that portion. And this will be something, by the way, our code enforcement officer says, he doesn't have anything new to add to what he presented a couple of weeks ago, but he did say if you all have any questions or need him to clarify anything, you can reach out to him and he'd be happy to talk to you. This is the property on Lee Street downtown. So this is gonna be a first reading for this resolution, resolution 11226.2, be it resolved by the town council of the town of Rogersville, Alabama as follows. Pursuant to the litter, refuse, accumulations, and weed ordinance of the town of Rogersville and Article 6 thereof, the property located at 1605 Lee Street is declared a public nuisance, and the abatement of the following property is hereby ordered upon the property fully described as follows. I'm going to skip the actual description of the property and continue the resolution thereafter. Be it further resolved, the public hearing shall be held on, we will have to establish that date and time, that time and date be determined, so that the offending owner may present rebuttable evidence as to the necessity of the abatement thereof, and that a notice of a public hearing on the matter shall be given by certified mail, return receipt requested, mailed the minimum 30 days prior to the date of the public hearing, and shall inform the owner the time, date, and place of the public hearing and the reason thereof. The notice shall be mailed to the owner of the property as it appears of record in the Lauderdale County Revenue Commissioner's office. Be it further resolved that notice shall also be given by publication in a newspaper of general circulation once a week for 2 consecutive weeks. The first notice shall be published at least 14 days prior to the date of the scheduled public hearing, with signs posted on the property pursuant to the ordinance. Resolved further that the mayor and the town clerk be and hereby are requested, empowered, authorized, and directed to take any and all steps and to execute and deliver any and all instruments necessary to carry the foregoing resolution into effect. And will have to be signed and dated and so forth and so on. So this will be on the agenda of the next meeting. Mr. Morgan said we can reach out to him and he would be happy to answer any questions. And I expect him, probably our attorney, to be here next week as well. So that's considered the first reading of that resolution. Following up on something does anybody have any questions on that? Noise and fireworks ordinances, this was something that was discussed a couple of weeks ago. I've had some citizens ask if there can be anything done to mitigate a noise from fireworks. One person in particular lives in an apartment complex. She said she was disturbed by the noise and disturbed by the fact that fireworks are being shot in such close proximity to the apartment units and the vehicles in the parking lot. I've had another homeowner complain and wonder if there's anything that could be done to regulate personal use of fireworks in the town limits. Currently, we have nothing in our ordinances that addresses personal use of fireworks. I printed out what Florence, Muscle Shoals, Sheffield, and Tuscumbia has on the books regarding fireworks. It's everything from the day and time regulation in Florence to Muscle Shoals does not allow the possession or use of fireworks at all in their city limits. So
They just don't patrol it.
this is something just for y'all's information. Tuscumbia, Florence, I think, only allows personal use of fireworks on 4th of July and on New Year's Eve, and then there are time limits, I think 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. On July 4th, maybe 10 a.m. until 11 p.m., I'm not sure. And same on New Year's Eve. I don't know if this is practical, I don't know if it's something we need or want. I haven't had an overwhelming number of calls. I was thinking maybe there could be something narrowly tailored to prevent fireworks from being shot in close proximity to apartment units, like maybe something tailored to apartment unit common areas.
Let me ask a question on that,
Yeah.
just that particular part. Concerning an apartment complex, wouldn't that fall under the owner?
I would think the owner would have discretion to not allow
I
fireworks.
don't think that would be up to us. Right,
What do you think about all that?
would that not be the landowner?
I mean, apartment complex looks like it'd be the management there.
The management or the owner?
One thing in Florence's ordinance is it disallows the use of fireworks within so many feet of a residence. So if we had a narrowly tailored ordinance that says you cannot shoot fireworks within 100 feet of a residence, that would include apartment units.
My only other question is, how we gonna enforce?
Well, is that enforceable, Chief?
Most towns in the city limit now, they do the same as firearms. I mean, you can't shoot your firearm in the city limits, and they don't allow any explosions or fireworks in the city limits, and that just does away with it. But, I mean, if you put the ordinance in effect, we'll enforce it, but I mean, y'all have to come up with what that ordinance is.
Right. Well, this is just something to think about.
How would you enforce it?
Well, I mean, it would be, I mean, really, the only time you'd enforce it, they were being dangerous with them shooting them toward buildings or something to that effect. I mean, they were just shooting them, having a good time and wanting around the building. Like y'all said, maybe put in a certain amount of feet from buildings and say, don't shoot at other
Can't be
people.
directed toward destruction. We may come up with a sample ordinance to run by you and
Each case would be, I mean, specific. I mean, when we got called there, I mean,
Okay.
if they were being reckless with them, that'd be one thing, but if y'all allow them, then as long as they're not being reckless.
how about I come up with a sample Rogersville ordinance for you all?
But some people, you know, some people say reckless is one thing, and some people say it's not, so then you get into that, so.
Very subjective.
Yeah.
I'll come up with something for you all to look at with Rogersville.
Sounds good.
And also, there was discussion about a noise ordinance, just for reference purposes. I printed off Florence's noise
Yeah.
ordinance, just in case that's something we want to think about or pursue. It's very interesting, but that's also printed out, just for information purposes, really. I'm not proposing that. Okay, farm animals, specifically laying hens. I've been approached by a citizen who lives in the town limits who would like to be able to have a few laying hens for the purposes of harvesting eggs. Sounds like I don't have strong feelings necessarily either way in today's times of inflation and health consciousness. It seems like kind of a reasonable thing to want to be able to do if that's your thing. The city of Anniston, I didn't print it out, but the city of Anniston allows up to 6 laying hens in what would be their equivalent of our R1 single-family residential zone. The city of Auburn also allows, I think it's up to 6 hens, no roosters. But under tightly controlled circumstances, you have to, there's setback requirements, there has to be a coop that is so far away from neighboring structures. It's a whole thing.
We've dealt with this numerous times. Did we call some a couple years ago on this? Yeah, it's in the zoning ordinance that, farm animals are not allowed inside the town limits. And, we even dealt with it not too long ago with an individual who had an emotional goat.
He said it was a support goat.
An emotional support goat, and we can't allow that. The question is always, again, if you allow laying hens, how can you say no to a pig? How can you say no to a donkey?
What about a
How can you say-
cock-a-doodle-doo right across my house?
Huh?
What about a cock-a-doodle-doo every morning?
Well,
That's against the.
that sounds like it'd be against the current
That gets
ordinance.
old too when you're trying to sleep.
We need to get Kenny out that way.
There's a new complaint form available down home. I'm serious. There is a complaint form for just that sort of thing.
Where's it at?
Well, it'll be available, and you can get it during regular business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not being facetious, there really is a new complaint form that would be perfect. for that.
Oh, well, you know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this was mostly for informational purposes. Planning and zoning would have to take it up first, I think, and make a recommendation that we could go along with or not go along with. So I didn't print out anything, but I just wanted to bring it up. There will be a planning and zoning commission meeting soon.
When is that?
Well, it was supposed to be this past Monday, and it was supposed to be on review of the weather, and it hasn't been rescheduled.
And then we're waiting on NACOG to get us the maps. Once we get the
Updated
maps,
zoning
then,
maps.
yeah, once we get those, then we'll recall the meeting.
Yeah, we need to do that as soon as we get those maps. Okay. Police Department, Chief Hudson, I think you've got a couple of items to discuss.
Do you need these?
First, I gotta do it.
Do you need these?
I've got one. Those are
It
y'all's.
was you.
Yeah, those are y'all's copies to look at, so. A couple of schools, the guys have to get so many hours a year CEUs. One of them is, Clayton Kirchmar is gonna go to the, if y'all approve of the basic sniper course. This will give him his CEUs for the year. It's $350, it's here local, so there won't be any charge of a hotel or food, stuff like that. It's on the shows is where it's at, so it'd just be the fee of, $350. And then for the SRO, his training will be down, trying to see where exactly it was at. I think it's down close to Orange Beach, but he's got a family residence down there, so there won't be any charge of a lodging for that one either. It's just gonna be his food, the travel. He'll take his vehicle down there, and then, it's $225 is the fee for the course, and that'll have him certified, as a school resource officer. I think we tabled that about the Tahoes earlier, last meeting. They finally come through with some prices for it, and, they are available, we can put in an order. He said that it would more than likely be September, October, so it'd be around the new fiscal year when they would come in. And I even brought up to him if we wanted to do that, as far as money wise, put it on next fiscal year, it'd be close enough that we could do that. That's just an option. But the price for the vehicle, this is for a Tahoe PPV with the police package is a little over 58,000 a piece. That's what they cost. And then the uplifting, they call it uplifting, is things they put the lights, the cages, the push bars, sirens, everything that goes in it, radar, radio. They would have one option in there for dash cameras. We're not using those at the time, but anyway, that package is between 17 1980, I think. Depending on, there's a couple of options you can get a different way, so. But that's the end bid, so you'll be looking at 58 plus, if you got everything on it, set about 78 apiece, time they were outfitted. And we wouldn't have to, the way we've done in the past, is we would go buy the radio, we buy the radar, we buy all that and then carry it to them and have them install it. This company, this new company, they actually have all that, and we don't have to do that. They just put in whatever you request, so. And then this is nothing pressing, but I did want y'all to look over and put you a packet in there about the flock camera. They're being used nationwide, mainly on main thoroughfares like 72. If you have time, y'all look through that. It's a good system. It's tied in with all the other police departments that have them, so if like a stolen car or kidnapping or human trafficking, if they've got a vehicle description, it goes out nationwide. The cameras that we had them installed on 72, they're strictly for felonies. They're not for traffic enforcement, nothing like that. It's for serious crime. And those purge once a month, so it don't keep a running data on everybody's tags. That purges out of the system once a month. Spring forward, I've made some notes there. They've had several rulings saying that, had some people fight it, mainly with felons, because the reader was reading their tag. Well, there's no expectation of privacy with your tag. We can actually run your tag anytime we want to. Same with these cameras, so. But it saved a lot of lives. Be something to look into. It'll help. Also with drug trafficking. Just the other night we had one that we stopped and he had lied about, we got a bunch of drugs off of him. He had lied about being in Birmingham and a couple other places, and we got on this, because we know people that's got these cameras, we was able to track him and put him in Birmingham within where he was picking it up, like on 2 different occasions, so. It really helps with investigative techniques and everything for that. But the price on those they're about $3,500 a camera. That's installed, and that's a year. That's a yearly cost. So if you had 2 on 72 that would read eastbound and westbound traffic, you're looking at $7,000 a year, and it's a 3-year contract. So it'd be around $21,000. If you just wanted one, it'd be half that. And they also, the sex offenders they're registered with this camera system. So if you've got a serious sex offender that's, say, in this area that is not registered or whatever, it will alert us. And those alerts will come to our vehicle, like whatever officer's on duty, it might go off and say, hey, subject, this warning for kidnapping, just going through the line at 72. And here, right here by the police department, they'll know it, or it just cross, it just depends where we put them, but we'll know when they're coming through. There was one other, I didn't get the paperwork on that.
What is the closest, like, here that you know of any located? Like, is there anywhere on 72 corridor between Huntsville and Florence, or anything like that?
It's got them.
That close, it's got them, yeah.
Yes, Florence has got them, the county's got several of them, Florence City's got several of them. A lot of the bigger cities also, these guys said they'd be happy to come and give a presentation too, but a lot of the bigger cities have gotten with their business owners, and the business owners are actually funding these cameras, or letting them put the camera up on their lot if they're border 72, because they know that's tied right in with the police department, and they don't have to worry about security cameras. So it kind of helps the town and it helps them. So that's another possibility too. going around and visiting with the different businesses and getting them to pitch in on it. Cause it'll benefit them. We've had several burglaries that if we had a car description, you know, they'd be at 2 or 3 in the morning, we know they went eastbound on 72, but we wouldn't able to get a tag. We'd get them out of the businesses, maybe get the car, but it don't read a tag, so you don't know. Kinda gives you somewhere to start. I mean, I know they swap tags, but you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
People that don't swap tags.
That's a good point. In addition to missing persons and stolen vehicles, it's a full-fledged security camera. You can
Right,
full-fledged on
and it comes to our patrol, it alerts us of anything like that, it's wanted, a wanted person, a wanted sex offender, anything like that. It's just something good, but I just wanted y'all to look at that.
So like.
When they first come out, they wasn't very reasonable, like it was over $20,000 for just one, but now, the technology's gotten, you can get them really reasonable now, and it's kind of crazy not to have them, I mean, they're really good tools, so.
Would gas stations be your ideal places like that would be stopped, where they'd be stopping to get?
Well, no, these are read up, so they make 2 different cameras. One of them does from 55 mile an hour down, and then they have one that does, I think, from 55 and up, so depending on where we put that camera.
To make up both of those?
Right.
You stop more like a partnership thing.
Right,
That's what
yeah,
you're
like
like.
you were talking about, yeah, I would think,
And where would the cameras go?
yeah, I would think
Right.
a
So
gas
they-
station would want this sort of
Yeah.
service.
Yeah, we thought about putting, when they were looking at, they kind of they'll pull up a map and show the best areas, but we're thinking about just as you're coming into town, once you're in the 45 coming into town, and then one right outside getting, going the opposite direction. But keep them both in the city limits. That way, one was coming from either direction, we can get ahead of them. But yeah, so if somebody did, they usually reach out to the utility companies and stuff, and they'll usually let them put them on a pole. But if we had people that were donating and wanting to pay for it, we would try and put it on a pole near their business.
Anyway, they have some salespeople locally, or that could come.
They said they'd be glad to come and do it, yes.
I'd like to do that.
Yeah, I would check.
They can give a full, they can do a PowerPoint, however they want to do it. This is basically just a PowerPoint here, I printed it on.
I'd say we make that happen.
Yeah, I do too. I think.
It's no rush, though. We haven't had them, it's just a good tool. I think we need to look at possibly getting in the future. Another, they make a mobile one too that's, solar powered, and it goes on, you've seen these, radar detectors that set up to your speed. Well, a lot of those have the camera mounted on those, and they make those too, where you can get, I think at one time, we talked about getting one of those to put in different places, just to remind people to slow down. We had some prices on those at one time, I can get that together also. But a lot of people, when you're driving, you just lose track, and it'll remind you, because it'll flash a blue light, and you're like, oh crap, I'm speeding, and you slow down, so.
I remember that, those were never ordered. They were just,
Right, we got a price on I think on 2 of them, but.
Yeah, it was, because we borrowed Anderson's, right, was it, where, no, it was the county.
The county, I think it was the
Yeah,
county.
Anderson is how the county. It's done on Rose Street for a while.
But this next, the school I'm going to in February, they'll have, all those vendors will be set up, and I'll get some good literature from them. They wasn't bad, it seemed like, I wanna say they were between $4 and $5.
That's kind of what I was thinking too.
And they come with a you charge
Solar.
a kit, and they come with solar panels that'll, yeah.
Because it was a little.
And they had different prices, like you didn't have to get the best one, and they had the little small ones that were easy to set up, so we'd be moving them around anyways.
I think we should definitely revisit that. Maybe put one on the road.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be just an highway sector.
No.
How many vehicles do you have that are ready for surplus?
I've got both of them right now. I went over there today. They're about done taking all the equipment out of one of them. They got all the stickers off. They're getting all the equipment out of that one, and then the other one has to be carried over there tomorrow. I'm gonna get it over there. And the stickers and everything's off it. They just gotta take the equipment out of it.
Think we can get 80,000 for each?
Oh, they're not
Try to pay for your new
they're
vehicles.
I mean, they're both over 200,000 miles, I think.
Yeah,
It was sketchy driving them to Florence.
okay.
Yeah,
I was just trying to pay for your new ones.
yeah, that was,
Okay.
which when we got, the town got those, they had over 100,000 on one of them.
Yeah.
They were trooper, Tahoe, I think.
Yeah.
They've been good ones, though.
They were supposed to be.
They definitely, y'all definitely got your money's worth out of it.
Yeah.
They were a rest area or
Yeah,
truck weigh station.
yeah.
Yeah, right, they were,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
That does it for the agenda items. Any council members have to come?
So, have you checked out the bonds?
I've been thinking about that today. The next time I talk to Mr. Sandville, I was thinking about that earlier. I'm gonna ask him to recommend a bond attorney, because he or she is who we need to speak with next about this. I have been thinking about it. I haven't reached out to a bond attorney, but I'm gonna ask Mr. Sandville to refer me to one.
Okay.
And,
But we still got to
but
narrow
we still gotta narrow down, I think, the wish list has
Oh, yeah.
come up to about $1 million. But those were just, it really guesstimates more so than estimates.
Oh, yeah.
So
I don't think we need to go with 900 and some thousand dollars. I mean,
I will, regardless of the amount, we'll still need a bond attorney, so I'll handle that, and if we need to schedule a work session just to discuss specific items and specific amounts, as a way to narrow things down.
I would think we would need to let them come talk to us.
Well, yes, I
Because
could.
there'd be a lot of
Well,
questions.
sure,
you know,
sure.
that would be asked.
I could find one and invite that person
Yes.
here to make a presentation and answer questions.
yeah, that's what we need. So, did you issue any letters?
There are letters in the works, and I expect letters to be issued. I know what you're referring to between now and before next Monday. That is the plan.
I think that's it.
Okay, anybody else?
I think I'm good.
I think I only have one thing. The Shoals Chamber of Commerce is sponsoring a trip to Washington DC to meet with Senator Britt, Senator Tuberville, and Senators Congressman Strong. Chairman Pettis would like me to go because he wants to bring up Rogersville, and he would like me to be there. And I agree that it would be good if he's going to be advocating on Rogersville. It would be good for
So
him.
when are you leaving?
Well, it's the last.
How big's the check?
It's the last week of February.
What is
I guess what I'm saying is, are you all amenable to me going to Washington
Yes,
on a
all
business
favor.
trip to ask for money?
Yeah, we just need
Yes.
cost.
Yeah, but
You know that?
It's the last week in February. I think it's probably over 3 days. One day meet with Senator Britt, one day meet with Senator Tuberville, and then another day meet with Congressman Strong. I think it'll be good publicity, and I would like to see it reported that this trip included the mayors of Florence, Sheffield, Tuscaloosa, Muscle Shoals, and Rogersville. They are going, I know, those 4 mayors, and I think it would be good publicity, but more so, I want to be able to meet with Senator Britt and Senator
Yes.
Tuberville and explain in person our situation with water. And
Absolutely.
I think it would bear fruit the next time they are making appropriation requests. I will come up with specific days and more information when we meet next Monday.
I do have one other thing.
Yeah.
Did you check on the vending machine?
No, I have not. I asked, I think we need to have a vending machine up there. I think the last word was Coca-Cola said they weren't interested. I said I'd inquire with Betsy, No, I haven't. I haven't really, I'll be honest, I haven't thought too much about it since then. Although when I did ride to the park, I thought about the fact that spring activities are gonna be happening soon. Splash Pad will be opening, so, I will report, that'll be another thing I'll report back to you next month.
Yeah.
I'll reach out, and I'll reach out to Coca-Cola as well, just to see if they change their mind.
Just can't believe it, they won't put a vending machine.
I find it hard to believe Coca-Cola would be. I'll reach out to PepsiCo and Coca-Cola. Anybody else got anything? George? I'm sorry, the status is they've got lights in, and Mr. Jerry Page is supposed to come out and do an assessment of what it'll take to run the wiring. I went by the library, what is today? I went by the library, I guess, Friday. They had not heard from him yet, but Eddie,
I talked to him this morning, and, he wasn't feeling too good, but he said he would get by there tomorrow.
Okay.
Talk to King.
well, he's gonna take a look and figure out what it'll take to get that wire run.
And Mayor, did you get with Ken with the library about the furniture?
Yes, I did. Thank you for mentioning that. I'll go ahead and ask this question. There's been, furniture that the library has wanted, has been a topic of discussion. It's been brought up in several meetings. I think it's just been discussed. We never voted, and they have money in their budget. It's a lot of money she wants to spend, but it is in their budget. It used to be the building fund, now it's, I guess you could say a library maintenance fund. I don't think we ever voted to authorize her to order what she wanted to order, but, so maybe, you all could correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's only been a topic of discussion. I don't think we ever voted. But,
Maybe she needs to take the same approach as Don.
well, yes, and I'm sure she would probably be happy to be here in person next Monday.
Yeah.
I think she really wants that furniture, and they don't have a lot of other projects on their wish list, and painting and the lighting, but they don't have any other big projects.
You know what she's planning on taking it from on the budget?
It's
Yeah, like-
$33,000.
I know.
It is, I didn't bring my budget in here.
Was there a separate line item for a building fund?
The reserve account, I think we had
Yeah.
put money back off to the side
It's in
to
there.
rebuild.
I don't see anywhere.
It wasn't in the library, it's not in the library budget.
There's a separate,
It's a separate account.
It's a reserve.
Is it the reserve? Okay.
That's what I think.
That's
it
what I
is.
was telling him, I think it's the reserve account.
It should be coming in.
Mm,
we could, I'm sure she'd be happy to come.
The last thing I thought she was supposed to try to get another quote.
Well, I think that's how we left it. She was gonna try to maybe
Yes.
tone down her request a little bit.
But I think she's sticking with this particular person in Mississippi because she's been doing previous business with that particular. But she said these are furniture that need to be made and he need to go ahead and get it done.
If she's gonna be ordering furniture, I think she's ready.
I'm only showing 48,000
Well, that sounds about right.
in reserve account. Actually, when you take what we've actually put money out for, which is the pickleball court paving, the pickleball court lights, and reseal the walking trail, that leaves us with a $41,000 deficit
But-
in reserve.
But I think it's a separate, I don't think it's the reserve account. I think it's a library building fund.
Sure.
Yeah. Library building.
The fund formerly known as the new building fund.
It's funds formally now.
We keep saying here.
Okay.
Yeah. And we need to move that and get it out of there. And we could do that.
Yes. Yeah, still live to what y'all do.
Yeah.
Leslie used to get it in, give us an update sheet, so we know what
This guy, this-
it's using.
So.
Yeah, no, that's what
It ain't that enough. And see, what is this? Is it reserve? you not buy an extra splash pad pump already?
I did,
You gonna say that?
It's one of
but we
them.
had in there to get one more.
Yeah.
But, remember that, to get that one was pretty difficult, because it was obsolete almost.
This is separate.
Ms. Jeffries thinks she found, the account in question.
Yeah, we found a way we can do it.
I was double checking, I found one, but I was double checking it.
Well,
I went and talked to her about this furniture, and she explained to me that basically it has to be this manufacturer and this quality, because it has to be able to be cleaned, kind of thing, like hospital
well,
furniture.
I was gonna say, she described it as library quality or hospital.
I mean, and you got,
Yeah, get that.
heaven forbid we have another pandemic, and she's got a Lysol, Clorox, everything,
It's a lot, but if they have new building fund and new buildings no longer in the works, and that's what she wants to spend the money on.
We no longer have a building fund per se in the budget.
He has a few other wish list items, painting.
I just thought we was gonna get some
Have they already bought the
estimates
paint?
from other, but that's what she.
Have they already bought the paint?
I think they've already bought the paint.
We got a perfect painter.
Let me talk with Ken between now and next week. Yeah, I think she's got her heart set on a certain supplier that she has a relationship with, but she may be amenable to getting those. I'll
So you just gotta talk to her.
talk to her between now and next week.
I just wanna make sure we know what line item is coming from the budget.
I agree.
We gotta watch it.
I totally.